Hey everyone, Mercstrain back again, now with episode 30 of our Enigmatica 6 expert playthrough. In the last episode, we did some work with refined storage, which we can see behind us, that's just the base of it. We also found out we weren't making anywhere near enough power, so we created all that power system in the back with more those Stirling dynamos. But we have discovered that we have started to run out of different kinds of materials, stuff like silver and nickel. And so, to start this episode off, we're going to go ahead and make some fancy bees. The nickel bee. The nickel bee is copper and an RGB. So here's our copper bee, and I should have an RGB right here. The RGB just takes any kinds of flowers, and the copper will take copper, of course. There's our block of copper, and let's get some flowers on this guy. I think I need to give him 4. Maybe? Maybe not. There we are. RGB, back in your bottle. Copper bee, back in your bottle. And the new nickel bee in his own jar. Same thing, we're going to do lead and water. This is the one that probably needs 4. So here's our lead. Get our water bee. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna go get these guys slotted up out in our apiary. Even though our apiary is kind of a temporary one, it is still a good producer for what it is, right? But the very next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go over there and start working on a dedicated building just for bees. So let's get the nickel one in, and let's go ahead and get the silver one in. And then the copper, water, lead, everything else I'm going to put back where I found them. Now that we have multiple bees in that apiary, let's go ahead and make an iron storage upgrade. This should allow us to... I gotta make the apiary storage. But this should allow us hold more honeycomb at one time. And at the moment, I mean, right, in our future building, I don't know if we need the upgrades because we're gonna be pulling all of the combs out. But since we don't have a system here to pull any of the combs out, I think this upgrade is gonna be very handy. Now, I don't know how exactly it works. I don't know if we just right-click on the storage. Shift right click? Oh, there is a space right there. And you can actually see we needed it. We were already at the limit, but now we have 2 more whole rows to put combs in. This is great. Okay, so let me show you the plans that I have for the apiary building. This is the create building. So behind our create building, I'm going to run a road out this way. And this road will continue to go out this way, and it's going to go over here as well and connect to our Enigmatica building as well. However, this will be our apiary building. Now, might be a little difficult to see. It's just laid out with scaffolding, but you can see there are 4 large squares. Each one of these will be a unique individual apiary. And it says, right, that the apiary can hold 9 individual bees. So, we should be able to get 36 different bee types here, no problem. We're going to have a doorway here, and we're going to have a doorway here. And I'm thinking in the back, this is where our drawer system storage is going to go. And we'll probably actually use our very first drawer controller over here. So we'll have to make a new one of those as well for our actual storage system. But this whole apiary building here is going to really help us in the future. Get everything going a little bit better, maybe more efficient than our previous bee system, and it might even be more expandable. The center portion here, well, you'll see. We won't get to it this episode, but we will build the large multi-block centrifuge as well, because we're going to need something bigger, more powerful to handle our increased load of honeycombs coming in. Let's get started. I have with me a backpack, and in this backpack I have light gray concrete And this is what's going to make up the base, or the frame, of our apiary buildings. So, I'm going to speed the video up here while I place a whole bunch of blocks down. After only just laying the first row of this light gray concrete out, I don't think I like it. It's just very plain, right? It's very basic looking. So I've just created a few different shapes, and we'll see what it looks like. That is better. However, I wish that they connected. Again, I wish that they connected. I don't like that one enough that we're going to already say that that's not the one we go with. Now, this one doesn't connect, however, it does look like it's, you know, bricks sort of built together, so I do kind of like this one. The final one to check is this dent, and this may actually be what we're looking for. You know, it's not bad, but it's kind of plain. It doesn't look like it has enough definition in it. Let's go ahead and see if there's another one that looks like this, but maybe has a bit more definition. All right, we don't like this one. Let's remove it. We don't like this one. Let's remove it. This one's not bad. This one's not bad at all. I kind of like this one. And this one's okay. So we may actually go with one of these on the base, and then we might try using this as the pillar, right? Because we also need pillar blocks. Let's go ahead and break this and see what it looks like as a pillar. Not too bad, and actually having like a fancy bottom is kind of neat looking too. Okay, I have decided we are going to go with this pattern here. We now have the basic shape of the apiaries, not the rest of the building though. I went with a mirrored pattern on top and bottom, having the fancy sort of corner with the brick on top. We're going to put quite a bit of glass in here, just as we did with the other apiary. I think it's going to be real nice to be able to see inside and see the bees flying around. We will also need to get 4 more apiary blocks, and I'm going to place the apiary blocks right here, right on this point here, so they're right in the center of each one. And then I think we're going to put the storage block right there. So we're going to replace this light gray concrete with a storage block. And the plan is we're going to suck all the combs out from the bottom and go down underneath the floor to wherever our drawer controller is going to be, which is likely going to be over this direction, because I think we're going to put our drawers over here and over here. I'm back, and I've done a little bit more building here. We have most of our apiary in. The building itself is not really anywhere near complete, but I kind of want to try using this honey block for like the ceiling. We'll probably have to put something above it, but for now I'm kind of feeling like it might give it a nice kind of sort of glow from like below. And you know, it kind of does, right? So if we're looking from here, it gives it kind of a nice color on the top. Great. Okay, so we have our apiary storages, all 4 of them, and our apiaries, again, all 4 of them. I have to place, oh. If you shift click it, it will, it'll put it backwards, which is exactly what I wanted to know. Now we should have no problems putting that in there. Shift clicking it to go in. Perfect. And it's already a valid apiary. Boom. We now have 4 brand new apiaries. They don't have any bees in them yet. And you know what? I haven't actually put any like flowers or anything in there just yet either. But this place is coming along nicely. Okay, so let's take a look at our current state of the building. Is it finished? Not quite, but it is mostly done. I've opted to go with these kind of fancy light gray concrete roofs. They get like these nice little ridges and whatnot on the angles and everything. I've done this on all 4 sides, but remember, only the front 2 are doors. If we were to run around and take a look, we will see that the backs are just walls, because when we go inside, you will see drawers. Also, we have a few bees that are already in here, and they are working. So let's take a look and see what we've done. The floor is not complete yet, and I did leave this open so that we could get down there, because we will need a little bit of access. But let's take a look real quick at what we have. In the back, we have our drawers. Also, this is going to go. I just haven't removed it just yet. I wanted to see if the bee was going to come back, but he got lost. So the 9 different types of bees that we have in this apiary will output to the 9 different drawers over here. The same, this one will go here. We don't have anything in here yet. These set of drawers corresponds to the first apiary, and this one will be for this one. Each of the apiaries, we'll go ahead and take a look. I need to get an empty hand. They have the storage block, and then right below them, they have a pipe that has a high extraction module. Let's go down. And down here, we see there are pipes that just all connect. And what do? They run up here right into a drawer controller. The drawer controller is attached to spruce trim, which means that all of those drawers are now connected. And so it sucks everything in. However, I want to show you something. I don't have an extraction in here at the moment. I have it in my inventory, but I have a high retrieval module. And we can see, look, there are lots of combs in here ready to go. What should happen is we should be able to come over here and put the high retrieval module in. It should detect that there is empty space and that there are items to pull, and so it should pull them out and go through. And then we would have only needed 1 module to control all 4 of our apiary storages. However, that just doesn't work. I don't know why. I have a feeling it's a little bit of a oversight or maybe even just a straight up bug. But I think what's happening is the retrieval module is not detecting the apiary storage or the items in the storage, so it doesn't know that it can pull them. But if we come over here and we stick our extraction module in, it's easily able to just pull everything straight out. Look, now they're all out. And there they go. And they will, of course, increase the items in our drawers. So there they go, right into the controller. We're going to do the same thing right over here. I had these hooked up before, and I just removed them again for demonstration purposes. We can see everything coming out. I go up top. There they go. There they go. We will see all of these values go up. So 102 for these 3 things. Now we're at 1 at 14, 114, 114. Interestingly enough, apparently these combs have the same like harvest amount or timer or something. So anyways, over here I have most of our like metals: lead, iron, steel, nickel, copper. I've got some redstone in here too, and some silver. And I did one additional thing. I created this book in Quill. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is our bees in apiary checklist. This list is not at all sorted, but if it has an X in the box, it means that we have it. So we have this first set. We don't have bronze. I'm going to want to get bronze, brass, electrum, invar, all of these things we're going to want to have in here, so we have essentially a renewable, almost endless supply of these kind of metals and things like clay and gravel and all that. Now, some of these, like slimy bees, we do have slimy bees. They're over at our old place. They're just not over here yet, so I haven't ticked them off. Again, I will hover on this page just for a second so we can see what we have, and page 4 is just empty at the moment. This is the gist of what I want to have in this apiary at the minimum here. Blazes, I'm not sure if we can have them. They might need their own special container, because I don't know if they'll catch things on fire. But there we are. This is our apiary building. Complete? No. But mostly done, and it works for our purpose. Again, this centerpiece will be the multi-block centrifuge, which, if we take a look real quick, Let's see what it needs to make it. We need one controller. The controller needs infused sun metal. This is the part where, unfortunately, we need to have a natural altar of infusion. We're not quite there yet, so we're going to hold off on this. I don't think this is going to be hard to do. We just don't have it yet, and I'd rather get my storage building up and running. All of the casings also require infused sun metal. So, that is our limiting factor, even if it's not a huge one. There's one more bit of this room that I want to show off, and that is actually what's up here in the very center. This is a feral flare lantern from Torchmaster, and what this does is when you place it down, it will place invisible lights in all of the spots. So if I hit F7 and we were to like look outside, you can see the yellow lighting up out there. We have no places in here where a monster could spawn, not even in the bottom, and yet you see no torches. So we're just using that in here. Well, I've made a few more. We may use them in other places as well. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the doors. The doors work off of door sensors, so that's cool. We'll go up top real quick and just take a look at the ceiling. I had the honey blocks down there, and we put glowstone with a fancy sort of pattern. Not really a fancy pattern, but a different form of glowstone on top, so that provides light down below as well. The light wasn't necessary, it just kind of gives that cool glow. We put some glass in the roof just to make it feel a little bit more open, and this is where I think we're going to leave this building for now. I'm quite happy with it. I hope you are too. I forgot one more bit of explanation. You may have seen when we were down here before that there is a trash can right here. It's not actually hooked up at the moment, but let me explain what would happen, okay? So let's remove this off of our hand and take a look in the pipe. The pipe currently has a high retrieval module in it, which we don't need anymore. We now know that the other pipes will push items out. But there is a low priority module, which means that it will attempt to put all of the honeycombs that it has in this drawer controller first. And then, if this was connected, when the drawer controller can no longer take those honeycombs, it should route the items right into the trash can. That way, you know, we don't have a backup. Let's say we filled up on sandy honeycombs. We were totally full on sand. That sandy honeycomb would fill this whole thing up, and then we wouldn't be able to produce combs of any other type either. So if we void the excess, that will eliminate that issue from our system. There is one alternate way we could have handled it. Instead of routing the pipe into the trash can, we could have had the drawers themselves actually void the excess, and you do that with a void upgrade, right? So we've already looked at upgrades before, like for increasing storage, but void upgrades will destroy excess items. They're actually not hard to make, not hard at all. However, each set of 2 takes 1 trash can. So we would have needed, 1, 2, 3, 4, we would have needed a bunch of trash cans, when it actually works out that we could just have 1 if we just route everything, all the excess in there. The only problem we have at the moment, and why this isn't plugged in, is if I were to add a new bee in here. Let's say I put a blaze bee in. We don't have one, and let's say the blaze bee worked just fine. It would produce blaze honeycombs, and the blaze honeycombs would automatically get pulled out, and if we don't have a slot for them in the drawer system, it would go directly into the trash can. So I'm going to hold off on connecting the trash can until we're either full on some of these, or until we have a lot more of the bees in place that we want. Let's do something just a little different. We're now on episode 30, and it's been quite a long time since we updated our map. And since we've made this map, we actually have, structure here, we have a big structure here, and one over here, this one's complete, and there's another one over here, so, hey, let's make a new map to commemorate the occasion. So, I have a few maps on me. I have 3 empty maps and 1 in my hand, and let's go ahead and just make a new one. Get these, we'll get these completed up real quick here. Okay, we now have our maps completed. Let's go ahead and, I think we need to lock them first and then swap out our board. Okay, we're going to just temporarily lay the new map next to the old one so that we can get a good visual of how it has changed. Ignore the the forest fire, but wow, look at the big difference, right? We have certainly expanded a lot down here. And I just picked up the old maps, and boy am I glad that I took a look at them and didn't have them in my hotbar, because it looks like none of them are locked. With our new map in place, let's set our old one up upstairs or something. And with the completion of our apiary building and our updated maps for episode 30, we have now reached the end of our current episode. So, what will we be doing in the next episode, you may ask? Well, I have plans in mind. Plans that involve automatically obtaining all of these different kinds of cobblestones. 27 in there. How will we do it? I'm looking at Create Gantry System with a little bit of computer craft mixed in, so please tune back in for that, because I think it's going to be a really cool and interesting one. Just give an update, I do also stream on twitch.tv/mercserain Monday and Friday nights. Evenings of the US Eastern Time is about when I am on, around 6:30, 7:30 to about 10 p.m. If you want to come check me out there, it'd be great to have you. I do occasionally do a little bit of the Minecraft world, but I'm also playing a couple other games as well. I have a Twitter page, which is also at mercserain on Twitter, and you can see my going live updates there, and I'm probably going to start posting about some Minecraft things on there as well, if you want to check it out. And then finally, that thing, likes, comments, and potentially subscribe if you enjoy this content. I'm happy to keep going, so hopefully we will see you next time with our Cobbleworks. This is Mercserain signing off.